and just how once trusted critics that shilled for the Disney company all the time, even they are beginning to turn their back against them. That's how bad this movie truly is. Even if you look at the IMDb rating score, that's when you really know how terrible this movie is and how it really hit rock bottom.
That despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
she's a good actress,
that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Wow. The ego on this girl is ridiculous. Wow. And you have parents looking at Disney being like, what are you doing, guys? Like, this is supposed to be a place where magic happens, and all you're doing is indoctrinating kids, and you're having this person be the poster child of the Democratic Party.
Great, okay? It's great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I a psychopath?
After one hell of a PR tour, Disney's live-action Snow White is finally, I know, you were wondering.
And there is no resolution in sight for the Walt Disney Company when it comes to Snow White 2025 at the box office. This is exactly why Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, is in pure panic mode over not just the Rachel Zegler backlash, but the entire backlash surrounding this movie in general.
Rachel Zegler just got the worst news of her career. After months of backlash, controversy, and a public relations disaster, Disney has officially announced a brand new Snow White remake without her. The actress, once positioned as the face of the franchise, has now been completely sidelined, and word is she's not taking it well. So what went so wrong? And why is Disney so desperate to erase this version from existence? It started with high hopes. Disney believed they were modernizing Snow White for a new generation. But from the very beginning, fans hated what they saw. The removal of the prince, the erasure of the iconic dwarfs, and a storyline that barely resembled the original fairy tale. It was a disaster waiting to happen.
You know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
She's not going to be safe with the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
We'll still offend the dwarves, but we'll CGI dwarves. So we'll guarantee no employment for little people while getting rid of this other component that warranted CGI. It was the worst decision they could possibly make.
And then, Rachel Zegler poured gasoline on the fire. In multiple interviews, she dismissed the 1937 classic as outdated and mocked the original love story. She claimed her Snow White wouldn't be saved by a prince and would instead focus on becoming a leader. Fans were outraged. Was she insulting one of the most beloved Disney princesses of all time? The internet exploded. Social media turned against her. Fans accused Zegler of being arrogant, disrespectful, and out of touch. Every clip of her interviews went viral for all the wrong reasons. The hashtags #NotMySnowWhite and Boycott Disney trended for weeks.
That the producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
Disney executives were in full-blown panic mode. Early test screenings showed lukewarm reactions, but when the trailer dropped, the backlash reached unprecedented levels. Even critics who normally support Disney started questioning their decisions. The film was doomed before it even hit theaters.
Every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
And the failure wasn't just online. Disney's Snow White merchandise bombed.
Look no further than what Disney is doing with their woke, DEI, feminist agenda.
Major retailers had to slash prices because no one was buying. Reports from inside Disney's consumer division confirmed millions in unsold inventory.
Disney threw her under the bus, but I mean, not unjustifiably so. You can't be like, Rachel Zegler's innocent and all this. She did no damage to the box office. We're seeing it because of her.
The financial losses were staggering. At this point, Disney had no choice but to do damage control. Bob Iger and top executives realized they had to make a brutal decision. And that's when the studio made the call. Snow White was getting a fresh start.
She was, as woke as they are. You know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
It's nothing to do with the creation of Snow White. Right. You should shut up.
This truly is the worst casting, maybe, in the history of the film industry.
These big bad feminists now are telling us that's ridiculous. How dare you want to meet a handsome prince and be swept off of your feet and live happily ever after? No, you should want to be the prince. You should want to go out and fight the bad guys with a sword.
If you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
A new remake, a complete reboot. As soon as the news broke, rumors started swirling that Rachel Zegler was devastated. The actress, who once spoke so confidently about her take on Snow White, was now facing the reality that her version was being erased.
Also, there's nothing wrong with wanting a man. Can we not have chivalry in this world anymore? There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I'd love for a man to come scoop me up and provide for me.
Insiders claim that she wasn't just removed from the project. Disney canceled all of her media appearances and is actively distancing itself from her. Once hailed as the next big thing in Hollywood, she's now at the center of one of Disney's biggest failures in history. But Disney isn't looking back.
TLDR, the girls and the gays, we all want a man, we all dream about true love, so Disney, that is not outdated.
The studio has promised that this new version will be a return to tradition. That means bringing back the classic love story, the dwarfs, and the magic that made the 1937 film a masterpiece.
Tell me if this is attractive to you. Like, does this, imagine you invested into her being the face of the movie, and she's the main character and she's trying to promote the movie. Would this make you want to go watch the movie when she's starring in it and she's the main character?
I just have to note the smugness and superiority on this 23, 25, something like that, girl's face. Young, a little bit of humility, you know? This is a story that's been around for a long, long time. You're not improving on it. So they took out the famous theme song, Someday My Prince Will Come, because it's not fair for a woman to live for love or want to find love or want to find a prince. They were not going to do that anymore, and they replaced it with the far more catchy song, this typical girl power anthem.
They're even bringing in veteran Disney animators and storytellers to ensure they don't repeat the mistakes of the last film. No modern political messaging, no drastic rewrites, just a faithful adaptation of the fairy tale that started it all. The stakes couldn't be higher. Disney is facing massive financial losses, and this Snow White remake is their last chance to win back audiences.
Disney responded by scaling back the premiere. I don't know that anyone really showed up to the premiere. The Rotten Tomatoes reviews are looking pretty bad, and they did, it seems like they tried to tweak a few things, but this movie is bad.
You could look at the fact that she has been sabotaging this film for years at this point, all in this sort of pursuit of entitlement.
The producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough. She destroyed hundreds of millions of dollars worth of IP for Disney, but she also has destroyed her career and the careers of anybody who worked on the movie.
BBC said Disney Snow White has a major identity crisis. I mean, guys, every single one of these reviews is just absolutely brutal. And what you also need to know is that these are not politically driven reviews. I mean, most of them are from the camp that should be supporting Disney, that should be behind this new progressive take on Snow White, and yet they can't because the film is apparently just that bad.
It's a bad thing. I'm not agreeing with it. One, because you're replacing jobs that people could have as little people. Okay. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's for dwarfs. Why are you hiring Snow White and the seven average people?
So where does this leave Rachel Zegler? Will she ever recover from this career disaster? And will Disney's desperate attempt to fix Snow White be enough to restore trust with fans? One thing's for sure, the story isn't over yet.